Hey everyone, we're back with some more Final Fantasy XIV. We are currently leveling our White Mage quests. Right now we are doing the level 40 quest and the level 45 quest, as I am level 47. I doubt these two will level me up enough to get to level 50 to do that one, which is too bad, but still. Here goes. Okay, Cure 3. Oh brother, where art thou? Miro, I owe you an apology. When last we spoke, I promised that I would find a way to convince my brother to accept you, but I fear he intently refuses to heed my words. Why, the more I try to reason with him, the more he shuts his ears to me. All pride and no common sense, that one. I can scarce believe we are kin. So intent is he to prove that you are unneeded, that he dashed out into the forest all alone, boasting that he would placate every last elemental and save the forest all by himself. Needless to say, such a task is far beyond his powers. There's part of me that would like nothing more than to see the foolish boy learn his lesson, and yet, as his sister, I fear for him. Would you go look after him, Miro? Sincere or no, he is in many ways still a child, and the forest grows ever more unsafe by these days. I thought to go myself, but if you were to save my brother from his own recklessness, perhaps he might finally see how fatuous he's been. When last I spoke with him, he announced his intentions to begin his efforts in the Bramble Patch. With any luck, you may still find him there. Now, please go in haste, before something ill befalls him. Of course he's in the Bramble Patch, because everything that happens in the 12 Wood finds its way to the Bramble Patch at some fucking point. I hear like water running and I was like, what the heck? Okay, let's make our way over to the Bramble Patch. Look at my space whale. Jeremy, how do you feel about the space whale? Alright, hey Aaron Senna. If it isn't my assistant's favorite adventure, come to show me up, have you? Well, you can march right back and tell my sister I'm doing just fine. I'm only resting. Even if I were hurt and unable to placate this tree, what could the run-of-the-mill adventure like you do about it? Okay, well, let's find out then, shall we? Oh shit, there's a lot of them. Okay. We will just cast Stone 2 over and over again. That's what we can do with it. You're a bitch. You feel like the space whale is hiding from whalers on the moon? I mean, what better place to do that than on the planet? Beginner's luck. If you think a sapling or two is going to convince me that you are a worthy inheritor to the teachings of Master Atoa. Hey, Run, do you yourself believe those words? Sister, what are you doing here? Seeing to my pig-headed brother's safety, what do you think I am doing? For better or worse, it would appear that you suffer only from the bruises to your leg and your pride. Hey, Rune, for all your obstinacy, I know that deep down you are no fool. No, you are wise beyond your years. You realize as well as I the dire fate that will befall Gridania if we do not quell the threat of the Great One's fury and restore peace to the wood. The adventurer is not Pajali. This is true. But what of it? Would you blindly trumpet tradition as the very force turns against us and brings ruin to our home? We have a greater calling to answer. You know this. I do, sister. Oh my, dear Arun, what are sisters for, if not to forget of their little brother's fits of folly? Now, Miro, I believe the most important task still awaits us. Let us return to Camp Tranquil. Yeah, Vector, my stream did just go down for some reason. It's back now, though. But also, like I said, we weren't done earlier. I was just saying goodbye to Twitch or YouTubers for that video. We still have 2 White Mage quests to do, and I think a Summoner quest. Alright, here we go. Miro, thank you. I knew it was only a matter of time before Arun came around a reason, and yet his hesitance to accept you was not entirely unfounded. When we first met, I promised that one day I would share with you the tale of how white magic came to be regarded as a forbidden art. Well, I suppose this is as good a day as any for the telling. The tale begins some 3 millennia ago, in the 5th astral era. It was time of the endless frost, when a barren wasteland of snow and rime stretched as far as the eye could see. Food was scarce, warmth scarcer. The histories told many a grim tale of those who died in their beds, starving and benumbed. So did our ancestors discover magic, born of the most fundamental instinct, survival. In time, the winter thawed and the magic was no longer essential for survival. But once awakened to its conveniences, there was no returning to how things once were. Ere long, the people discovered all the myriad ways in which magic could be employed, and civilization flourished. But prosperity breeds contempt, and nations warred for power and riches. So did the people seek greater and greater power, to bring destruction down upon their enemies. So was born black magic, the most devastating form of sorcery the world had ever seen. At the same time, another form of magic emerged, brought forth by those who would keep this immense destructive power in check. That is, white magic, our magic. Does this surprise you? Just as there can be no dawn without night, well, the white and black are 2 sides of the same coin. War raged on, and magic was used and abused with little concern for the consequences. And consequences there were. Unchecked use of magic soon dried the flow of ether, threatening to bring in the blight to the land. The magic of healing, it made little difference. If used with no concern for ether, our magic would prove as ruinous to the land as the cost of the devastating black magic spell. And so, it was that the practicing of white magic was forbidden, with one exception, the Pajal. Our kind was entrusted as sole shepherds of the now forbidden art, to serve as bringers of the peace, ensuring that this great power could never again be misused. Though, as he is still young, everyone feels this profound sense of responsibility as strongly as any of us. Thus his hesitance to accept you. But, having seen your abilities and the sincerity of your intentions, you can rest assured his doubts have been dispelled. With the 3 of us united in place and purpose, and your skills ever growing, the day that we may perform the quieting draws near. To our fortune, the Great One has not yet entirely consumed by fury, but our time remains short. Commune with the Great One, the rest, and restore the Twelveswood to its former state of harmony. We must truly be at one heart, one mind. So it is as to this end, an aid to a cant has guided you to us. Further your mastery of our art, Miro, and let us mend the wounds of the wood together, and we get Cure 3. So the history of magic in yours is oh look, here it comes, the consequences of our actions. Yes and no. The history of magic is probably more akin to climate change, in how using magic is very similar to how we are currently utilizing all of the planet's resources and causing climate change to happen. They were using magic and causing, well, in essence, climate change, but also a reduction to the flow of ether of the planet, because they were probably largely unaware of the effect having magic had on their surroundings at the time. I'm sure some were aware of it and were like, hey, yo, guys, stop doing this. But, Like, I bet you any money there was an Eorzean Greta Thunberg back then in either the lost city of Maha or the city of Amdapor. Kind of like Shinra and the Mako reactors. Yeah. Alright, so this is the last quest we can do right now as we are not level 50. Following his footsteps. Your command to the white magic has advanced considerably, Miro. Yes, the time draws near. Let us begin our preparations for the quieting. At its roots, the ritual is no different from the acts of pacifying that you have already performed. The difference lies only in the difficulty of the effort. The Great One possesses a power unfathomably more immense than the elementals you have communed with thus far. Power so immense that a mage might be easily overwhelmed by the sheer force of its will. To prevent such catastrophic fate, our tradition decrees that a special garb must be donned before performing the ritual. I have prepared for you these pieces, but I fear they will not avail you in the current state. So it is that I would send you on a journey. I trust you know the story of Ato Akant. Rare among the Pagil, he left the forest behind to travel the realm, healing the land and its people. As tribute to his wanderlust, after he passed, his ashes were divided among several urns, which were then in turn carried to the far reaches of the realm. And it is there, in the distant lands, that the great mage so loved that his ashes were buried. The monuments erected in his honor. You are to go to the pilgrimage to these sites and receive the blessing of your forebear. Only then will the garb I've gifted you be imbued with his divine powers. Mind you, you will find these places are not as welcoming as they might have been in Master Atoa's time. The first site is on the shores of western Lanasia, in a place now feared as the Serpent's Tongue, home to a band of vile pirates. The next is to be found in Mordona, in that overgrown labyrinth of roots and vines so affectionately known as the Tangle. I do hope that Master Atoa's ashes have survived those most oppressive environs. The third site I would have you visit is perhaps the most treacherous location of the lot, Raban's Push in northern Thanlan, a stone's throw from an Imperial stronghold. I urge you to exercise extreme caution. Alright. Let's go to this one, I guess. It's the hat I disliked earlier. Well, it's funny, because the hat I got on Black Mage now is like a miniature version of that one. It looks, not terrible. Oh, here's my heal. Now look at this thing, like, even though I'm not on the ground, it doesn't feel super slow. At least not to me. Oh, my foot is so itchy. Give me a sec, guys. I gotta put my medicine on it. Hi, Mini Cat. What you doing? Hey, what you up to? We got a Mini Cat here. She's doing important things, guys. Very important Mini Cat things. You gotta move though, so I can. Yeah, you gotta move so I can move my chair, Mini Cat. I don't want to run over your tail. The kind of you need to wear is an even bigger version of that hat. Thankfully not. Oh look! Ah, sea wasps. Okay, I think I can move my chair now. Irritating tendrils. They are quite irritating. Alright, that's right, I have Arrow 2 now. I forgot about that. Is this an AoE spell? It is not. I think Arrow 3 is AoE. I'm not sure. You look like Kurt Ferguson in Celebrity Jeopardy. Damn you, camera angle. The gravestone is described as an epitaph paying tribute to the life and deeds of the great mage Ato Akant. Alright, I gotta slash pray before this. Right, here goes, guys. Good thing the pirates never fucked with this, eh? Alright, so I got a pair of healer's gloves. Sick. Let's equip those. Those are the greatest gloves I've ever seen. Alright, we gotta go to the Tangle. What if they fucked on it? I mean, they're pirates, I wouldn't be surprised, but as far as I can tell, they didn't mention like a strange filmy white substance all over it, so it's not like they blew their load all over the all over it. But maybe they did. Maybe Miro noticed and was like, I'm not gonna address this. This is disgusting. That's a cool crystal. Hey look, Jeremy. We find ourselves back in the Tangle. Damn it. Well, I apparently I can pray on my mount though. That's interesting. Bye, Bobdol. Oh, yeah. This Fade End doesn't have any music. Alright, we got ourselves the boots. Okay, these ones gotta look different, right? Yeah. Okay, let's teleport to Northern Thailand. Alright, we're gonna teleport to the Cerulean Processing Plant, not Camp Blue Frog. They came across a porn magazine under your mattress and a little bit on the floor. That comic's hilarious. By the way, send me that again so I can send it to Gary. I don't want to scroll through our chat. If you still have a copy of it anyway. I was gonna do it before and I completely forgot, so. There we go. Look at that. We got pants, which we're not gonna be able to see because we have this. Okay, let's go back to Camp Tranquil. As you can see, the level 45 quest so far is not very involved. We just fly around and go to various ones. Thank you. And go to various, like, areas of repute. By the way, Jeremy, there should be a quest here in Camp Tranquil if you didn't do it, called My Feisty Little Chocobo. It'll let you summon your Chocobo to fight with you, which can be pretty handy if you're playing solo. You can even set him up to be a healer, a tank, or a DPS. It's only for out in the world. He doesn't join you during things, but you already did that? Okay, cool. Your safe return heartens me, Miro. I can feel newfound power emanating from the garb I just gave you. I trust this stage of your pilgrimage was a success. Now that you have traveled to the realm and seen the land as Master Aitoa did, I would share with you the rest of his tale. The histories claim that Aitoa Kant disappeared in the mountains of Ogomoro, the Kobold motherland. This is not untrue, but there is more to the story. When the great mage did not return from his journey, one of his most devoted students went in search of him. As the legends have it, the young mage single-handedly fought off veritable legions of kobolds while scouring the mountains for any sign of his master. Sadly, it was as all had feared. Though the young mage eventually found his master, the great Aitoa Kant lived no more. Why is it I'm always in here doing this part when the music like goes to its highest peak? As if the death of the man were not enough, Theorist, Aitoa Kant's great staff, a mighty relic passed down by his ancestors, was lost to the shadows. Undeterred, the mage fought off the kobolds' hordes to carry his master's remains back to the surface. A ceremony was held to honor Master Aitoa's life and deeds, and urns housing his ashes were carried off to the far-reaching frontiers of which he was so fond in his living years. All the urns, that is, except for one. Yes, though the precious location is only known to a few, Master Aitoa also rests closer to home, here in the Twelveswood, not far from Proud Creek. You will find another monument to the great mage. Take with you this habit, and pray your respects as before. If you keep pure intentions in your heart and your mind, then the healer's robe shall be your reward. The robe? They're not going to give me the hat? Alright. Well, it is a nice shirt. Okay. let's go to the mall today. Alright, we're gonna go up here. Here. Lesser Kalong. Oh, good. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to fight some dude. You can at least let me land before you start fucking on me. Why isn't this one aggroed? Well, you know what? That isn't aggro because I hadn't moved yet. These things aggro via sound. I actually wonder if I can do this. Alright, leave me alone. Please, asleep. And there we go. Flash prey. I gotta examine it, not pray. Oops. The grave has been defiled and its contents appear to have been stolen. The power of Ato Cant has been lost here. Return to Camp Tranquil. Oh, of course it has. Of course it has. I need to go to another location in Ishgard. Oh, maybe in Korthus. A new habit for a white mage, or a habit for a new white mage? The urn holding Master Ato's ashes was stolen? This cannot be! Grave robbery is a damnable enough crime in itself, but what manner of scoundrel would dare to defile the resting place of a Pagel? Rest assured that I will investigate this heinous crime immediately. In the meantime, your pilgrimage demands you travel to one last destination. This final leg of your journey will take you to the very place that Master Atoa drew his last breath, Ogomoro, the homeland of the kobolds in Outer Lanasia. It is there, in plain sight of the kobold dig, that the student of whom I spoke did erect a monument up to his fallen master. Okay. Let's go. I find it easier just to click on those and teleport. Hey, dudes. And this, if you didn't guess, is most likely going to be the healer's circlet, which you can't see because of my hair. That's fine by me. Alright, let's teleport back to Camp Tranquil and go talk to Rayosema. Oh, hit this again. Cool. Alright. Crash landing! Welcome back, Miro. The journey was not an easy one, I trust, and yet I knew that Master Ato would guide you safely back to me. In your travels, you've received the blessings of a great ancestor, and yet this was not the sole reason I sent you on this pilgrimage. Perhaps you sensed something of my intentions during your trip. Yes, Miro, as she who would inherit Master Ato's legacy, I wanted you to truly walk in his footsteps. To see the realm in both its beauty and its suffering with your own eyes, as the great mage did so long ago. And yet it is strange, no? A pirate's lair, a rampant jungle, mountains of fire. Of all the hostile environments to which you journeyed, the single grave of the despoiled was that which rests right here in our forest home. I suspect this was the handiwork of no witless grave robber, but rather someone who knew all too well the value of which was buried within. We must uncover the truth of this crime, and return Master Ato's ashes to their rightful resting place. And quickly. You're with me, yes? If you had a gun with 5 bullets and were locked in a room with the city leaders and Teleji Adeleji, would you shoot Teleji 5 times? Probably. Little shitbag deserves it. Wait, is another quest? Okay, we have another quest. Yearn for the urn. Grave robbery is a loathsome enough crime in its own right, but to defile the final resting place of a Pagel, such an act can only be performed by the lowliest of bandit scum. Though I would like to think the elementals have already delivered due justice to the villain, we must take no chances allowing an escape. We'll see our way. I put my best Moogle on the hunt, searching for any sign of the culprit of the stolen remains. I dare say he should have a clue or two for us by now. At least he'd better, if he values that little ball on his head. Suffice it to say, though, many Forestborn think of the Moogles as blessed. My own personal experience has found them to be more touched than anything else. Oops. Why, I told her just the other day that this is why she remains, shall we say, unspoken for. She might not react to that phrasing at present, but her ire was indeed fierce, Kupo. Of course, we have not come to discuss my mistress's temper, but the grave robbery. A most unforgivable act of villainy, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did, Kupo. I am pleased to say, and you will be pleased to hear, the culprit did not escape Moogle eyes, Kupo. Well, my eyes, he did escape. My associate, Puknapoki, however, claims he may have seen a band of ruffians skulking off in the direction of Red Belly Hive, and various and sundry stolen goods in tow, among them a rather conspicuously elaborate urn, Kupo. I do not know what the Red Bellies are up to, but surely it can be nothing good. Miro, go quickly. If the urn is lost, I fear Rayo's ire will be the least of my worries, Kupo. Flames are off again. What the heck? That's weird. I just noticed that they should have been on. There's no reason they should have been off. So I guess they somehow closed. Super rude. I need to add it to my check of things to check for, I guess, because... Those thieving crooks! Those crooked thieves! Defiling the resting place of a Pagel? Why, no amount of thrashings, lashings, and bashings would suffice. Kupapo? Why, if it isn't the lovely white mage Koopa spoke of, and not a moment too soon. Why, I was just about to swoop in and give them their comeuppance myself. Now that you're here, however, I believe I'll just sit back and enjoy the show, Koopa. Those vile red bellies tossed the urn into some ramshackle wagon, a most ignoble act for a Pajali legend, I do declare, and carted it northwise toward the hive. You will retrieve it safe and sound, won't you, Koopa? I suppose I will, yes. Oh, I thought I was gonna have to go into their beds. Not so. Let's put this guy to sleep. Look at him stunned immediately. That's my favorite. I hit the wrong spell. That was quite the sound I just made. Alright, I don't know if this guy can outdamage my region, but it's concerning that they all made the same sound when they died. I'll just fly down there. It's not that far. Alright. The final remains of the wandering Pagil, Atoa Camp. Thank you, Meryl. The remains of our exalted forebear, hauled away by brigands like a sack of loot. Is this what our land has come to? There can be no doubt. If this is the Great One's fury that brings such chaos to the Twelveswood, the situation is grave indeed. I shall have our wood whalers deal with the red bellies. We have more important matters before us. And yet, I fear we have hit another snag. Though the owner has been safely recovered, the harsh treatment others suffered at the hands of the bandits has taken its toll. Uprooted from its proper resting place, the power of Atoa Camp, once housed within, grows dim. I shall return to its own to its rightful home. Perhaps over time it will return to its former state. And yet, I fear time is a luxury we do not have. We must explore other means to enchant the ritual garb. I'll consult my brother and see what knowledge he might have to offer. In the meantime, I would ask that you master your newfound skills as best you can. There's no telling what the Great One's fury might grow too strong to contain. We must ever be prepared. Alright guys, so we got a new spell. And that spell is Holy. The Holy looks like this. Got a really cool casting animation. And then it goes up and explodes. Alright. That's a red 4 mage. Alright, I will, YouTube, I will be back with more recordings once I get to level 50. Otherwise, thank you for viewing.